Feels like summertime. Hello, I'm Justine, also known as Just Sold Out, back here today with another unboxing. By this one little New Balance symbol, you should be able to tell what it is, and if you can't, then now you really should know what it is. I'm excited to unbox this brand new pair of shoes. I picked them up straight from the New Balance website. Very excited that New Balance teamed up with Donald Glover to make this new pair of sneakers. In the past, Donald Glover has previously released and worked with Adidas. It's by no surprise that when he launched these sneakers, he did so in a very similar manner. With the launch of Market by Gilga, Donald Glover released an animated video featuring two fictional characters that are seen as mice. They toy around and play with the sneaker, including ripping off the New Balance N logo from the actual shoe they were holding, and then eventually crafting the RC30. The RC30 is a brand new New Balance model. New Balance is absolutely no stranger to collaborations. Their roster of collaborators include Jack Harlow, Jaden Smith, Soleil Bembury, ALD, Jones, just to name a few. Donald Glover goes right in with those top tier names, and it makes sense because he has always kind of had his foot in the door with the sneaker market. This sneaker released on July 18th for a total of $140 US. The brand new RC30 model borrows from the iconic New Balance 1970s Trackstar racing shoe, but it actually adds a little bit of a dynamic curve on the outsole. Let's go ahead and unbox these bad boys. On both sides of the box, you'll have one New Balance kind of paint splattered logo. The other side has the classic New Balance logo. Nothing on the opposite side of the sticker label side, but the sticker label side also features this, and I got this in a 5.5 men's. Interestingly enough, the sticker tag actually says that this is the URC30DD. Not entirely sure what that stands for, but the RC30 is the model of the shoe. This technically released as a men's product, although it did release in unisex sizing. I got it in a 5.5 men's, which is true to my 7 women's. On the lid, you have one very simple, delicate, almost looking blackberry, I can assume. No idea how this design or emblem relates to the shoe or the storytelling of the shoe, but I think we'll find out in the coming months. Ooh, so good. And here we have it. And here we have this beautiful RC30, the Donald Glover collaboration with New Balance. Have I not mentioned that Donald Glover is literally one of my favorite people in the world? I have the unpopular opinion that if it's between Drake and Donald Glover is getting it all the way. At least for me. This shoe is literally so clean. I've been looking for some kind of like cleaner, lighter colors to add to my collection. I did think it was going to end up being a New Balance just because I think their styles and some of their colorways have really been hitting very great. Love kind of like the earthier, paler tones that you initially see right upon looking at the shoe. Let's get into the details. The upper features a bunch of different kind of ripples, and not just on the sole, which I'll get into a little bit later, but because of the way that the stitch lines are overlaid on top of the upper, you do kind of feel like there are ridges and ripples kind of also floating through the upper and not just the outsole. The upper is comprised of mostly nylon as well as some suede overlays. Loving the tone of this nylon. It's kind of like this yellowy, aged off-white color, and then I think it goes seamlessly with that kind of like stone, I call this like a stone gray, but it's like a slightly muted gray, but it really goes well with the outsole colors, the nylon upper, even against this New Balance logo N. The New Balance logo is featured with navy pebbled leather and white stitch lines. I love the little white stitching because you can almost see like little dots of white rather than an entire kind of like seam. So I do really like that because it does kind of like add a nice little detailed touch, especially against the nylon. The New Balance logo contrasts heavily against the color of the nylon upper. Moving up along to the collar features mauve leather. The heel features slight cushioning, nothing too crazy. I imagine these guys will definitely need to be broken in because of how slim they are. You have New Balance branding all throughout the shoe, on the tongue tag, on the insole, even on the outsole as well. Let's move down and talk a little bit more about this sole. This sole is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and honestly, it's the reason that I bought this sneaker. I love the ridges featured, and I'm really wondering how this shoe is going to perform over time and how is it going to look after I wear it, I don't know, about 100 times. I imagine the ridges are going to be less ridge-like and they're kind of going to flatten, but who knows? We'll see. And although it is a rubber outsole, there are some more foam-like pieces that actually comprise of the sole, and it looks like they're glued onto this rubber outsole for a seamless look. Both the lateral and the medial side, they feel very similar. I mean, they have very similar elements in that the stitch lines create that ripple effect, as well as two navy blue N logos for New Balance. One thing I find wildly interesting is that the tongue features almost like that deconstructed kind of look on the edges, while the New Balance tongue tag sits atop. I almost missed that little detail. I think because when you're just like looking at it really quick, you don't really take note, but when you actually look at it from the back, you can see that kind of yellow, and it does go really well against the nylon upper color. I think the shoe gives kind of like an aged appeal, which is why the colors are all seamlessly working well together. They did come laced off in kind of like this creamy, slightly off-white, thick shoelaces. So it did come with some nylon laces. They're also pretty fat as well. I don't think I'm going to lace them up in the navy, but I might on one side and keep the other cream. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll probably decide after I film the on-feet footage. I'm really excited to wear this shoe because nylon is really great for the summer. I feel like it helps kind of circulate the air and whatnot, so your foot doesn't feel so sweaty and hot that it might with leather shoes. I think this is kind of like the perfect amount of material usage, because sometimes they can get a little crazy when you're using too many different materials on one shoe. Somehow New Balance and Donald Glover, they were able to seamlessly incorporate like a hairier suede, a pebble leather, and nylon. Oh, and technically they also added this smooth leather on top of the collar. So it's just really interesting that they were able to incorporate so many materials for such a seamless look. Joe Grondin, who oversees New Balance's global collaborations, recently talked a little bit about this shoe, stating that no loud colors or branding, just classic, easy to wear colorways of a new silhouette that fit Donald's style. Forgot to mention that the sneaker released in two different colorways. The one I got was Sea Salt, while the other one was more of a mustard upper, and it was called Golden Hour. I am the biggest Donald Glover fan, so I'm clearly biased, and I do love this shoe from an objective standpoint as well. It was interesting to see that the shoe actually kind of sat online for a hot second, and it wasn't like very highly coveted. Not entirely sure why. There's just so much going on in the sneaker world. That could be it. It could be that Donald Glover might not have the sneaker influence one might think. It also might just be that this silhouette is just too cool for the normal person. Is this a sneaker that you guys would wear? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially because I just have such kind of like eclectic style that anything weird looking I naturally gravitate to, and the weirdness of the way this sole looks, I naturally was just like, I need it. And on top of it, Donald Glover's name's on it, so there's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't buy this shoe. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I post a bunch of unboxings, styling sneaker videos, vlogs, and more to come. Stay tuned for on-foot footage as always, and I will see you guys in the next one.